Hello, welcome to the Building You podcast. My name is Esther, and I'm so excited to have another Sunday in your week for you to get to listen to me. If you've not listened to our first episode of season 2, this is your sign to pause, go listen, and then return. I promise we're not going anywhere. And if you have, I'm still elated to literally listen to all your comments, all your feedback. Thank you for those who've made comments and given feedbacks. Thank you for the love. It has been beyond amazing this past week, seeing how much you've loved the return of the Building You podcast. Without wasting much of your time, let's get straight into today's episode. So I did put out a poll asking people to let me know what topics they'd love for me to discuss, and someone mentioned purpose. Now, when I saw this, I did want to shy away from it a bit because I feel like it's quite a heavy thing to talk about. And for me, shying away doesn't mean like I don't have opinions. It's more or less like I don't think that I might be the very best person to speak on this thing at the moment. But you know what? While I stayed marinating on it, I went to listen to some sermons, I went to figure out some things, and I think maybe I could speak on it. Now, not from I have the definitive answer, or from the, yes, this is what I'm about to tell you and it is fact proven, but more or less from, this is what I think, right? This is what I'm currently living in, and this is what, I've understood thus far. So I hope to the person that asked me to speak on purpose, this, my opinion, counts or kind of helps to steer you in the right direction. And I promise you, it's going to be an amazing episode. So let's get into it. The first thing I would say is that my pastor said something that purpose is that one thing for which you were created and at which you must succeed. Otherwise, nothing else you succeed at will count. And it's so funny how that is contradictory and at the same time so definitive, right? Now, when you put that definition out there, you're probably also thinking that, okay, so that means I have a purpose. I have one single thing I have to do. That means every other thing I'm doing does not matter if I don't hit this thing. But today, I want to tell you what I understand from that definition as well, right? I want to let you know that, yes, we all may have one particular thing that we were called to do, but that doesn't mean that every other thing in our life is useless until we've achieved that one thing. Now, I say that because your purpose may not be one grand big thing. And I say this because you already have things that God has called you to become. You already have things that God has placed before you to do. The purpose of your entire creation is that you should come on earth and be as God will be, right? I mean, take for instance, Jesus Christ. Jesus came to the world to save mankind. But before he started doing that thing that he was called, created, sent down from heaven to come and do, right? He had already started doing other things. Jesus was a child before he now fulfilled purpose. But he knew there was something that he was targeting. He knew there was something he was created for. He knew there was an assignment, but he was still doing the work of the Father, pending when it was the right time for him to begin purpose. Something that this, researching had gotten me to realize is that Jesus did not say, oh, okay, so now I figured out my purpose, let me get working on it. Jesus still knew there was timing to purpose. So while he kept saying, my hour is not yet come, my hour is not yet come, while he was waiting for an hour, while he was waiting for that time, while he was waiting for that purpose, he was still doing other things. So today I want to take you a bit from that waiting for that big thing, to making you see that you already have assignments that have been placed before you that still make your life purposeful. I genuinely think that purpose is not tied to a thing, it is tied to a person. Once again, my opinion. God does not say, oh, because you did not become a doctor, you have failed purpose. Who did you become on your journey to becoming a doctor? Or as you were preparing to become a doctor and something else happened in life, and then, the trajectory changed, who were you becoming? Because it's that person that is going to feel purpose. It's not the doctor. It's not the engineer. It's not the pharmacist. It is that person that's going to feel purpose. We are so busy and fixated on when will I find purpose, when will I find this big thing, that we are missing out on the things that are already before us to do. And this reminds me of a Bible passage that says, if you're not faithful in little, how would you be given much? If you're not faithful in your current season to do the current things that you can see and control, how are you so certain that when this big thing that you think is coming comes, you will be able to handle it? I don't know if we go to church and actually allow the sermons that we listen to marinate in our lives, but I've realized time and and time again that every season of your life is preparing you for the person that will fulfill that purpose. I'm not going to tell you, oh, this and this and this and this is your purpose. I don't even know what it is. Even me, I am still in the search of that one big thing. But you know what? I'm not stalling my life, and I'm not doing the wrong things, hoping that when I finally hit this purpose or reach this purpose, then my life will begin to make sense. My life can make sense right now. My life can continue to make sense today. And if I never actually hit that gusher of discovering what the purpose is, I would have still lived a purposeful life according to the standards of God. You need to realize that that purpose thing that you're searching for is not the whole definition of your life. You need to realize that there are things you can currently do now that are still purposeful. I feel like I'm screaming this because I need you to know that you cannot keep waiting for that big thing. Your life already makes sense right now. You're looking for a job, your life makes sense right now. While you're looking for a job, who are you becoming? What are you prioritizing? What are the things you're learning? Where are you learning them? Who are you sharing this knowledge with? Who are you hoarding this knowledge from? All those things you are doing are building you to become the person that would achieve that purpose. Look at the life of Joseph. Joseph literally had a dream, that he saw these things bowing down to him. But did you see the trajectory of the life of Joseph? Did it look like things were going to bow down? God, I promise you, Joseph in our 21st century for just talk say, I be no be me dreamer. But my bro stayed the course. My bro took himself out of that and pursuing this dream. This dream must come to pass to what is happening currently that I can do. I've been given the, advantage to be able to dream dreams and interpret dreams. How am I maximizing that? Not for purpose, but how am I maximizing that for the kingdom? For God to impact people's lives. Joseph went through so much. But you know what literally made him finally hit that purpose that he had dreamt of many years ago? He stepped away from wallowing in himself or figuring it out himself to asking somebody, why are you looking like this? The person that had the dream, what's the problem? What did you see? And when this person shared the dream, he gave the interpretation. And that's how when the person eventually got out, the person mentioned his name to Pharaoh, right? And he brought him out. And finally, Joseph achieved purpose. What we see as Joseph's purpose in life. I feel like we always skip the journey to get to the outcome. Salem King says something that we are so busy focused on the outcome that we do not take note of the process. And the process is literally how you achieve purpose. I don't know whoever is listening to this and to the person that asked this question. I don't know if I'm saying the right things, but I don't think that you can tell somebody this is your purpose in life. But the one thing that you can do is ensure that every day that you wake up, you are living a life that is leading you to becoming a person that can fulfill any purpose placed in your hands. You went to school to become a doctor, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level. You were becoming a different person as you were growing in each level to become that doctor eventually. If at some point you fell off the wayside and went to learn another course, would you not say that, because I did not now become a doctor because I feel this, I did not fulfill purpose? No. You now become a person that is learning microbiology, a person that is learning agriculture, to come out and become a person that now fulfills things that we can now say is purpose. Most people you see today that you admire and they're like, oh my God, how did you know this? How did you figure it out on time? Darling, they just kept staying the course with God. Every day they woke up and they chose to become a person that God could be proud of. God literally said, if you're not going to praise me, I would raise stones. That's because the purpose is not the thing. It is the person. It is the people. Like, if you will not do it, somebody else is going to do it. So why do you think that one is your own purpose? And like, oh my God, why do you think that it must be you that becomes that person? So I'm going to say this scripturally and practically, right? Most of us may never hear, you must become a firefighter so that this, that. You may never hear that. We know what you're going to hear. Go to that woman in your neighborhood that has not changed her slippers in 10 years, that has not had a new Sunday dress in 2 weeks, and give her your clothes. And the funny thing is that might be something. That might be the purpose of you being in that particular community, talking to that woman every day, so that at the end of the day, you're giving her a new clothes for church. But some of you want one grand thing. One thing that is, so magnifying. You miss out on the little things that God is saying. You miss out on the small things that God is prompting you to do. You think this cannot just be it. Some of you are currently looking for jobs and are so stressed and so tired and so angry and so frustrated. and those are all valid. But don't lose sight of who you're becoming. Remember whose child you are, literally. This could be a season for you to get deeper understanding of God. This could be a season for you to jot the things that you're feeling right now and find a solution so that the next generation of people do not become that. This could still be a season for you to maybe change trajectory. Maybe, okay, you know what, I'm not looking for jobs, let's build something. The person becoming is the person that achieves purpose. It is not that there is one big thing that they are like, oh, Esther was made for this, and if Esther has not done this, no. I'm going to tell you scripturally, there are already things that you can do. Scripturally, go into the world and preach the gospel. That is purpose. But you don't even dip it. How many of you have gone to evangelize? Not church evangelism, like you walked out and said, you know what, I'm going to preach to people, I'm going to print tracts and tell people about Jesus. If you're not even faithful in the little, how will I give you the more? And I'm saying this thing and I'm talking to myself. Like, I'm saying this thing and I'm marinating what I'm saying. So don't even look at me like, oh, so is this what Esther? No. I don't even be doing some of these things. But the fact that it is already written in the scripture, things you can do that lead you in the way of God, that advance the kingdom, that prosper the kingdom, and you're not doing them, but you're seeking one other big thing that you think that when it finally comes, all these things will finally make sense. It's the point where I need to draw you back. Literally, it's the point where I need to tell you, you know what, come back, take a step back, think on these things. Purpose, love your neighbor as yourself, love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might. There are already instructions on how you can live your life that is still purposeful. Purpose may not even mean doing something for yourself. In the place of purpose, the one thing I've learned from all the sermons I've listened to is purpose is service. And when you serve, you're serving others. That thing that you have suffered from, I would just tell you practically, right? When I failed in school and I was withdrawn from school, I didn't know that it was going to be something that I could use to tell somebody else that, you know what, you might seem like you're failing now, you might seem like it doesn't make sense right now, but I promise you that God is still in the picture. Today that I'm speaking to you, today currently in the YouVersion Daily app, it says that even when you are in a waiting season, God is working. To you, it seems like you're waiting, like nothing is happening. God is working. So when I had failed and it looked like, you know, where was I going to start from? God was already pushing things, moving situations so that the person that was going to call me back to the faculty, back to the school, was going to be dean at that time. God is consistently working, but he needs to know that you are in partnership with him, not waiting for him to bring the finished product to you. Because, darling, who told you that there is a finished thing? Go into the world and preach. Have you done that? Love your neighbor as yourself. Have you done that? Pray without ceasing. Have you done that? Do not be anxious about tomorrow. Have you done that? You're seeking things that you have not even known or understood. When the person who has the mystery in his hands, you haven't sought, how then can you tell that this purpose would ever come? I want to pass it to you that seeking for purpose is good. Pray for it. Ask God, why was I created? Why was I put in this family? Why did I go to this school? Why am I here? Why am I there? But don't make you sit and wait and think that maybe when this thing finally comes, your life will make sense. No, your life can make sense now. You can literally start a forum for people seeking jobs and be posting jobs regularly, be posting things that encourage them, be posting skills that they can learn while they're looking for jobs. That is still purpose, sweetheart. I promise you this. You could, have a thing where you're like, oh, quarterly, I'm going to go to this orphanage, I'm going to go to this place, I'm going to go to this school and just do this and that. It doesn't have to be anything grand. If there's one thing I want to tell you or leave you with, because I don't want this to be too lengthy, is that purpose is service. Find a need, find a place and serve. And I promise you, who you are becoming while serving is who God will use for what he wants to achieve. Because at the end of the day, purpose is God's will. It is not what you want to become. It is not what you want to have. It is not where you want to go. It is not how much money. It is God's will. So if God has not seen a vessel to use for his will, he's just going to keep waiting. His will is for all men to come to know him. Are you making that possible in the sector that you are in? I have several messages to my pastor, Apostle Joshua Selman. Like, if you're interested in, getting a playlist of those sermons, just comment and I'll be sure to send them to you. But regardless, right? I want you to realize that purpose is service, and who you're becoming while serving is who God will use to fulfill his will, which is purpose. So as you keep asking God, for what reason did you create me? Don't stop becoming the person he can use in the grand scheme of things, because then and only then would you have fulfilled fulfilled purpose. And that one thing you must have succeeded at so that everything else counts. This topic is very heavy for me. Like, I feel very emotional right now because I'm just like, taking stock while I listen, and I'm just like, am I actually becoming the person that God can use? Or am I so swallowed up in my own pain, in my own confusion, is this all there is, that I'm missing out on who God wants me to become or where I can do something for God? You say you want to be married. Are you becoming the kind of woman that can hold a home and protect the son that God will put in your hands and nurture the family, the children to become people in the society that God can use? Are you a generation maker? God is just going to want you to become. I'm going to stop here. Thank you for lending me your Sunday. If you think that maybe I haven't answered this properly, or you think that maybe I've said something contradictory to what you would know or what you have thought, I think that's why the YouTube is available for comments. The Instagram TBY Pod is also available for you to DM me about it. I'm very open to conversations around this. If you also have sermons that you think that maybe I could listen to, or other listeners could, be plugged and, shown, definitely, please don't hesitate to reach out, or even link it in the YouTube of this podcast, so they could easily get it. But I want you to know that purpose is who you are becoming that can now be used to fulfill something of good and impact. I hope this helps. I hope this made sense. And I look forward to anybody reaching out and letting me know what they want me to talk about. So yeah, thank you for listening to the podcast today. And please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, comment, share. Our Instagram usually has all the gist. So if you're not following us there, you're missing out on so much. And thank you for the love. Until next time, keep building you. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye guys.